Hi you guys, it's Mimsy here. I'm standing here on my back patio and today's going to be a little bit different. Today I'm just going to talk to you about what I have planned for out here. I'm going to show you outside on my outside patio what I've done over the summer, and mainly I want to show you my ping pong table which I built at the beginning of the summer. I have people ask me questions about that and I just wanted to give an update about that. So let's get started. Back of my house is basically my patio. I have these two sliding glass doors and they're both 10 feet wide each. They go out to my back patio, and my plan is, and I'm talking quietly because Beast is giving a piano lesson virtually in the other room, so I'm trying to be a little bit quiet. I would like to take out these doors all together, both of them, and put windows on my whole back patio. So it's like a conservatory, tall windows, almost floor to ceiling, maybe like 2 feet up. So that's my plan. I've actually purchased some windows. I need a few more windows. What's holding me up the most is that I need to get AC out there. So I need to buy a mini split. I've seen some mini splits that are DIY. Mr. Cool DIY is one of them. I'm thinking I might go that route. So anyway, let me bring it outside. We mostly use this door because the other door is really heavy. It needs to be repaired, so we mostly use this door. So this swinging bed is a project that I did just recently, and I'll link to that if you'd like to see that project. So this is a space where my ping pong table used to sit. We had a commercially made cheap ping pong table. It was royal blue and with a metal base, and it was really ugly and I never liked it, but we used it all the time and always wanted to make a ping pong table that was beautiful. So this is the second swinging bed that I've had in this location. The first swinging bed I made years ago, and this is a family favorite. Everybody in my family naps here. Just to let you know, I'm in Florida, so patio weather in Florida is actually from November to about May. Summertime, this area is almost unusable because it's just too hot, too humid, and damp. So anyway, going back to this area, this is where my swinging bed was. Then we got a cheap ping pong table, took the swinging bed down, put the ping pong table here, and I really missed the swinging bed the whole time. So that is why I decided to make my ping pong table an exterior ping pong table and put it out here. I did this pea gravel patio over the summer, and I initially put my ping pong table here, and I'll just link to the ping pong table build up here, and I had it out here, which is outside obviously. And in Florida, it rains all summer long, torrentially, so I wasn't sure if it was going to work, but I thought, what the heck, let me give it a try. Anyhow, my plan, like I said when I was inside the house, is to put windows across this entire back patio. And before I put any windows out here, I've got to put some sort of AC. So I was thinking that I would put a mini split unit right outside of here. There's a little pad out there that would be perfect right in that corner. I could run all the piping up here. And I was thinking I would go ahead and install the unit right here above my TV. That seems to make the most sense. I might get one that has a double unit, I don't know, and maybe put one on the wall over there too. I'm not sure. This whole patio space is 800 square feet. It's 20 feet deep by 40 feet long, so I'm gonna have to have a pretty big unit in here. Before I can put the windows, I've got to put AC. Before that, I've got to replace a bunch of these 4x4s and all of the 2x4s at the bottom, because there's a couple 4x4s, like that one right there is completely rotten, so I've got to replace those. So the windows, that's going to be a big job. So let me bring you over to the ping pong table and show you how that's holding up. This is the ping pong table that I built for outside. I did end up bringing it back into the patio because it started to get warped. And because inside here, inside the patio, we use it much more because there's not as many mosquitoes. And because we can use it in the rain. This area right here used to have the two tables that I have outside. I used a product called Total Boat Halcyon Varnish, which is a water-based varnish, and it was recommended to me by someone at Total Boat, and they gifted it to me. However, she only sent me one bag of it, and this is a pretty big space. A ping pong table is 9 feet by 5 feet, so when I put the Halcyon varnish on there, I used every drop out of that bag, and it really only gave me 2.5 coats. Maybe the third coat was really a thin coat. It did not cover the table sufficiently. The Halcyon coating says that you should put on 4 or 5 coats. And after that third coat, really second coat and a really thin third coat, I could tell that the finish was not, the wood was not completely saturated, because I could actually still see some of the graining of the plywood. So I figured that it was not going to hold up. Anyway, when we started getting the heavy rains of the summer here, it didn't take but 2 weeks of heavy rain before the water started to seep into the seams of the table and started to separate my seams and warp it. So that's when I brought it inside before it was completely ruined. So let me give you a close-up. So you see the seams. When I first made this table, these seams were almost invisible. They were super tight and totally flat. And as you can see, now I've got cracks and it's not flat. This side is a little bit higher than this side. And see how it's pulled apart here? And the same thing with this seam here. It's pulled apart, and then there was a couple spots, and then I'll show you here with this. You see how that's like kind of cracked? This stayed together real well. And let me show you this area here where it's like loose, and then there's this. I don't know, it's like bubbling right there. So there's more cracks in the seam there, and like kind of some raising of the wood there, and a little bit of raising of the wood here, and then of course this crack here started to separate. So that's the way it looks now. I mean, it's still fine. We still use it and it's fine. It's not perfect, obviously, but it works. So that's how my ping pong table is now. But my intention is now I'm gonna give this a sand and try to flatten it out. I'll probably put some wood filler in those cracks now. I think what I'm gonna do is I'll tape the edges, create like a dam here with the tape, and then I'm gonna pour epoxy over the entire table so that it'll be nice and flat and nice and level, because the epoxy will level out completely. So when I brought my ping pong table inside the house, I had just finished making an epoxy tabletop with that tulip base, and you can kind of see the epoxy tabletop underneath there, and I have a video for that. It came out really nice. But when I decided to bring it into the patio, I did not want to use outside. I had used one of my tables that are outside on my pea gravel patio as the base for my ping pong table. Well, I wanted to leave those outside, so I had this gold base from the epoxy table, and so I quickly went to Facebook Marketplace and found another tulip base. These are just IKEA tulip bases. Found that from somebody close by, went and grabbed it. I think it was $20 for the base and 2 IKEA chairs, so it was a deal. And I just put the ping pong table on top of these 2 tulip bases, which I love. That's the state of my ping pong table now. It gets much more use inside my patio than it did outside, and it's protected from the weather. Now I want to just show you quickly what I have done over the summer and my tables outside and what the tables look like that had my ping pong table on there. So let me take you outside. Oh, and here's what I'm going to do for my windows. So I've already bought a set of French doors that are full light, and those are going to go right here. So there's going to be a set of French doors here, and then windows all the way across, doors here, and windows all the way across and back here, and I'm gonna keep that door and keep the door on the other side. And then I'm gonna change up all my furniture. 2 couches that I have inside my family room. I'm gonna put those 2 couches out here facing each other. This couch I'm going to dump. I bought that at Habitat for Humanity. Believe it or not, it was $3.50. I only pay $3.50 for furniture for out here because no matter what, it's gonna get gross because it's just so humid out here. I'm going to keep the doors on each end because this end is where we do all of our outdoor cooking, barbecue, grill, and here's our pizza oven. I'd love to make a new pizza oven, a really good one, because this one doesn't hold a whole lot of heat. So these are the 2 tables that sat in my screened patio for years. I built them, I don't know, probably 8 years ago, like the week of Thanksgiving, because I host Thanksgiving, and so we needed a huge table. Well, in my patio, these 2 long tables, this is not one continuous table, it's actually 2 tables that are end on end. Well, I made it so that you could have them side by side, so 1 table here, 1 table here, and that way they would fit on my patio so that I could have them on my patio and also have a seating area. And then at Thanksgiving I would open them up like this. Anyhow, this is an Anna White building plan. I'll put a link in the description box. Anyway, we had my brother-in-law's 60th birthday out here over the summer, and it was lovely. We have the toilet there because we had to replace my mother-in-law's toilet the week of his birthday, and so I thought, you know what, it would be funny if we had a throne there for him, and we decorated it all up with balloons and stuff like that, and so he got the throne seat. Anyway, so when I made the ping pong table, I did not have the pea gravel here, it was just grass, and so I decided to do a pea gravel patio here to house the tables so that the tables would make more sense. And so I put down commercial grade weed block, which is the only kind to use. Don't use the stuff from Home Depot or anything, only get it from a commercial grade place. It's the only stuff that really works. The rest of it just comes up. So I put down the weed block, and then I had a bunch of these pavers, and I used those in order to give the whole patio a little bit more texture and to make it use less of the pea gravel. So I think I got 3 yards of pea gravel here, so it was less than $300 for this whole area. And then I hung up some cafe lighting, which I bought from somebody on Craigslist, and I attached that to those trees and to the house. Here's my outside patio, and my pond, I turned it off because it does run really loud. And here in Florida, everything in the summertime is pretty overgrown and kind of messy because it's just so hot here that you can't work outside in the yard in the summer for very long. So it's in the fall that we get to be outside and enjoy the beautiful Florida weather. So that's what I did over the summer. I did build this one bench quickly with some leftover lumber before my brother-in-law's birthday party, and then I have a whole bunch of chairs that we put out here too. And I am going to go ahead and build another bench to go with this table pretty soon because I've got a whole bunch of lumber left over from our dock rebuild that we just did. So that's the story of my patio and our ping pong table. These 2 chairs here I've had for years and years. They were my mom's. I'm going to slip cover them with an outdoor fabric. I need to repaint that canvas real bad. And then I'll probably cover these benches with something similar to these chairs. Everything out here is just kind of leftover and junky because everything out on the patio just gets so moldy and dirty. It's just filthy all the time because of the screen, because everything just blows in. It's just so dirty. It's just impossible to keep it clean. But I do have big plans for out here, and hopefully it'll happen sooner than later. So if anybody's got any tips for me on mini splits, how to put them in, or somebody in Central Florida that does them and does a good job affordably, let me know. So I also need to make an actual cushion cover for this. This is just a piece of fabric that I had and I tucked it in here, but I've got to buy some exterior fabric and make a cushion cover for this mattress and some new pillows with exterior fabric. So that's it, you guys. That's my patio and all the plans that I have for this space. I'm looking forward to getting started on it. This will be such a fabulous place to hang out once we get some AC and some windows in here. So thanks for watching, you guys. I'll see you on the next one.